You are most welcome, of course, the masked man said. We hope you, above all others, can understand our need for security. You will forgive us our doubt. The man nodded to Bruckner as well, saying, You too are welcome, boy. May you aid your master well. He turned back to Nima and said, We will leave at nightfall. You may take Chestler and prepare him as you see fit. We would like, though, to hear your plan first. Nima looked down at Chestler and then explained to the others in a low voice.
I have in my possession a very rare potion that gives a special control over one's own words. Even extreme torture has been known to produce only a very slight response, and I am certain Chestler will undergo no such pressure. After he has quaffed the potion, I will train with him exactly what words he may speak. He shall tell a story that will incriminate the Severin Assassins Guild, and though this guild does not yet have a presence in El Tulik, they will have been heard of around these parts. And then...
She lowered her voice yet again.
Ted here will inflict, shall we say, the appropriate wounds, enough for plausibility.
Malik smiled at the plan, and the being of borrowed flesh began laughing almost uproariously, a horrifying sound of many squelches and squeals like small animals dying underfoot. Chester squeaked in the corner and rushed over, falling onto his knees in front of the group, beginning to beg loudly. No, my lord, no, please, don't leave me with them. Don't hurt me. I promise I won't breathe a word. I was just scared last night, honest. I ain't gonna ruin it, honest. He was scratching his forearms furiously. Then he began to beg and sob, pleading that they wouldn't hurt him. Nima sighed inwardly and reached down to drag Chester to his feet, whispering in his ear as she did so.
Chestler, you will be fine. I will numb you with opiates, so you won't feel much discomfort. We will come to get you and heal you right after you do your part.
She motioned to Bruckner to help her pull Chestler out of the room.
If necessary, carry him,
she ordered brusquely. She said the catchphrase to the others, bowed, and turned to leave, hoping that her anxiety to get out of the place would come across as impatience with Chestler. Malik said, There is a basement in the dungeon beneath us that should serve for your purposes. Will you be bringing him back when you are finished preparing him?
No, it's better if we keep him with us, to keep an eye on him. We will meet up with you tonight.
The two frog-marched Chestler down the stairs. He was still whimpering, though he had himself under partial control now. It was arduous work getting him down the spiral staircase, but they managed. They continued down past the first floor to a dark and gloomy dungeon basement. The stone was crudely cut down here, and moisture had seeped in through the cracks. The room smelled of moss and age and tepid water. They found the room mentioned, a small cell with a plank bed of coarse wood, rusted iron manacles hanging from the wall. Nima and Bruckner searched the room thoroughly to ensure they weren't being listened to or watched. He appeared to be quite alone. Nima told Chestler to have a seat on the bench and then pulled Bruckner aside. She realized that the fear potion was probably superfluous, ordering Bruckner to stand over him in a menacing fashion. Bruckner leaned menacingly over Chestler, his hand gripping the hilt of his sword. The terrified man lost his nerve, dropping to his knees again and crawling to Nima to beg for mercy. He gripped her legs, begging for his life.
If I keep him from hurting you, Chestler, will you tell me anything I want to know?
Yes, of course. I was always going to tell you. Praise Panthelon and Martonius. I serve you. Please call him off. He was frantically scratching his arm all the way up to his neck. The skin was red and raw.
I will. Listen closely. I have made myself known to your group in order to help, but I am also here on a higher purpose. I must assess whether or not the walkers here are all truly correct in their devotions. Tell me, Chestler, when I first met you, you told me you were concerned about the plans for tonight. Why was that? Tell me everything, Chestler. Don't hold back, or Ted will be forced to expend some energy.
He was trembling as he began to pour forth his story, gesticulating wildly with his arms, and pleading in a weak and pitiful voice. It was just that, I lost faith for a time, Master. I was weak. I was afraid to go on the raid tonight for fear of the General and his men. The others all say it's a glory to die in the service of Panthelon and Martonius, but a look of sudden horror dawned on his face as if he realized the blasphemy he had uttered, raising his arms as though to ward off incoming blows. And it is. I know that it is. It was just that the flesh is weak, and I was mightily afeared for a moment. The others, they're so strong in their service. I'm just not sure I have the right constitution, my lord. Also, the plan, it's so dangerous. Even if we succeed, I don't know is helping to release devils across Savar is a good thing. Won't it just cause more death and mayhaps even fracture our order? He looked at them pleadingly, as though hoping desperately that they would see some wisdom and sense in his words. In a soothing tone, Nima assured him.
There are those who share your concerns, Chestler. That is why I was asked to gather all information possible so that the best decision could be made. And so, you will tell me more about the plan to release the devils. Pretend I am someone who doesn't know anything about it, and you are responsible for giving me the most detailed description possible. Whose idea was it originally? Exactly how will it work, etc. Also, you will tell me everything you know about King Janison and his involvement in the plan.
He wiped his nose, a long yellow strand of snot coming onto his sleeve, calming a bit, but still eyeing Ted nervously every few seconds. Well, I don't know the whole plan, see, but just, he made a big open gesture with both arms. Just the broad layout, you see. But my understanding is the king's blood is needed to open a portal to, he shuddered, to the 9 hells. I don't think the king knows a thing about it, leastwise I've heard some of the men whispering about how the old fool got hoodwinked easy by that succubus and followed her around like a puppy. Why, the succubus and her friends, I don't know who they are, see, but they say they're from some place out east, Velth, from Velth. They're the ones who want to release these demons. I don't rightly know why, but apparently Panthelon and Martonius desire that we help so as to cover the land in blood. He looked up weakly and said, "When I heard that, that's when I wondered about joining this group. See, I've only been a member a year, and I just wanted to see new places and new experiences. I never expected nothing like this." He scratched at his forehead almost forlornly. I only heard this much from snatches of conversation the others was having. I think that horrible creature up there that with all the eyes and the hands, whatever he is, I think he's got something to do with it, though. And that other one, the big one, who's always covered with his feathered robe and hood with that terrible yellow grin. He never speaks, as far as I've ever heard, but since the two of them arrived, everything has gotten terrible. It's only since they arrived 2 months ago that all this business with Velth and devils and all that started up.
Where did they arrive from? What do you know about them?
I don't know where they came from, honest. I don't know no more. I've told you all I know.
All right. One final question. Why do you scratch your arms so much?
He gave her a strange look at this question and said, "Eczema." Nima shook her head at Bruckner and then said,
Well, Chestler, you have done your duty. We are not going to hurt you, nor are we going to use you in tonight's raid. We will find another way to spread this information. But because I am not certain of the loyalties of Decludo and his companion, rather than tell them my decision, we will keep you with us until the raid tonight, at which point you will be free to go.
She leaned close to Chestler's face.
If you breathe a word of what was spoken here to anyone, be they Walker or no, I will send Ted here after you. Trust me, he is a very tenacious and single-minded hunter. You would regret it.
I won't breathe a word, I swear it. I'm getting out of this town. I'm going home to Bastos right quick, I am.
This has been episode 9 of Greenleaf and the Black Blade, written, narrated, and edited by Andrew Israelson. Nima Greenleaf, voiced by Penny James. Johannes Bruckner, voiced by Jared Israelson. General Alexander and Inquisitor Xavier Heartstone, voiced by Nick Smith. Sasha, voiced by Anna Kay. Lady Necelia Carollo, voiced by Adelaide Potter. Music and final sound design by Patrick Grafton Cardwell. Please tune in next time.